Hi everybody, this is me. It's just me here. The boys have left to go pee. If you haven't played, you guys probably can't play the Battlegrounds demo because you didn't go to Blizzcon or get a virtual ticket. Hey, if you pre-order Descent of Dragons today, you will get free access to the early beta for Hearthstone Battlegrounds, which is a new, what's it called again? Arena Battle? Auto Chess. It's a new auto chess game. You're gonna love it. I am not paid by Hearthstone, but I'm gonna pretend that I am. For the low price of $49.99, you can get your hands on a pre-order of Descent of Dragons, which comes with some golden legendaries for free, and 50 packs probably, and something else. Oh, a Deathwing hero, and you will get access to the early access beta of Battlegrounds.
Are you cutting
today?
Are you
Buy
cutting
now.
a promo real quick?
This has been paid for by Hearthstone Blizzard Incorporated. Thank you. Oh, hey, you guys, welcome back.
What did I just walk into?
I'm not drunk, but also, once I walked away from the toilet full of pee, I definitely did, use the sink, and I was like, why isn't it going away?
3, 2, 1.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight up the Scarlet Halls and back to a regular episode that's not as drunk and sleepy and high. I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horrid Punching Bag, and I can assure you that I am 2 of the 3.
I was going to say, I feel like most of our episodes are at least 1 of the 3, normally 2 of the 3.
Shh, they don't have to know that. It's a secret, kind of. A really bad secret.
I mean, a whole segment on our show is getting drunk.
I think we reference anytime a funny haha goof happens, it's like, oh, we're so drunk.
Well, we're finally back from BlizzCon.
Performing for you. If you know the words, you could join in too.
DK. Donkey Kong. Aaron, how was it being the man in the booth? How was it being the man at home with all the screens to watch BlizzCon from the comfort of your own home?
Well, the magic of the whole thing there is they said that us freebies, the people who didn't have the virtual ticket, got 4 free hours of coverage, and your boy really did not care, because I knew I could catch up in the next couple weeks. So I watched the opening ceremony, and I said, I'll Google the rest of it.
Fair enough. Most of the interesting stuff was in that opening, so...
Yeah, and the feed, which I'm unsure if, when you pay the virtual ticket, if you don't have to suffer through Michelle Morrow, but it's after the opening ceremony, it's and we'll kick it back to them, and I'm like, goodbye.
I'm kind of bummed because they didn't have the other caster. They didn't have the Guy Fieri brother. What's his name? I don't remember his name. He looks always terrified, and his hair's just like frosted gel spike, just like Guy Fieri's.
Yeah, we have a running goof in our friends group that he is actually just Guy Fieri's long-lost brother, who is actually the same age as Guy, but every year in between BlizzCons, they just put him into a deep freeze, and then they dethaw him. But this year, they just forgot to dethaw him in time, so he didn't make it.
He actually expired like an old avocado. They came back to get him, and they were like, wait, Jeremy, didn't you push the button last year? No, and then they opened up his tube, and it was like...
George, no. But what would you say? Because, you watched it from home. So
yes.
Your view is probably different from our view. Because I feel like we had, the crowd that was kind of, interfering with our thoughts and stuff. What were your takeaways? What were your big, holy shit, or that was cool? What did you think of the whole opening ceremony, I guess?
I won't lie to you. And this is going to be a very controversial opinion. I really would have preferred if the lead designer from Diablo 4 had just come out and said, Diablo 4, because that opening was very pretty, but it was very long, very drawn out, and I would have preferred if they had done more of here's the cool action in Diablo 4 gameplay versus that fun, silly Billy They Came by 3 trailer.
Yeah, I see why you said it would be controversial, because I think that was a sick-ass opening. Just finally giving everybody what they wanted. And be like, listen, bitches, you fucking want it? Just take it. Good God.
I mean, I'm happy for everything, even though I've seen a bunch of conspiracy videos and hot takes on the interweb. I'm excited for everything. even the the StarCraft 2 and the hot stuff. I'm excited for those people because I'm sure there's someone out there that's like, General Krunks, I've been waiting for years. Because TJ, long hair guy, was like, people have been waiting for this one. He's a fan favorite. And I'm like, not for me, but I'm sure for someone. Andrew, while he was high under those stairs, probably was very excited.
I guess in terms of co-op commanders, I think Arcturus Menxt is one of the coolest guys because he's like the first boss you face in the main boss. But again, it's just kind of like a meh. It's pretty cool, I guess, for people who still do that kind of thing.
There's a reason that he got overshadowed by the fact that they're selling vanilla ice cream at the Blizzard concession stand.
I meant to get some of that, and then I saw it was $9 for one scoop, and I said, nope, not worth the gag.
And it's literally just vanilla. And that was funny because he was like, it's vanilla ice cream. And I'm like, well, what else is coming to vanilla? And that was like it. Other than they're opening one of the dungeons. But he said that and the fact that they have vanilla ice cream in like the same breath. So I was like, ooh, the vanilla ice cream was really what you were coming out here for, huh?
Yeah, it's funny because I was about as interested in paying $9 for a single scoop of vanilla ice cream as I am for playing WoW Classic.
Damn. Damn. Well, I guess we can just talk about what we did in WoW really quick, and then I just feel like then walk right back into BlizzCon because I would like to get some coherent, non-fucked up on alcohol thoughts out there. So, Aaron, what did you do in WoW this week?
This weekend in WoW, I was just sort of putting my time in. I am so tantalizingly close to neck level 70. I was doing some alt stuff before yesterday, realizing like I really shouldn't be doing this because a new and improved alt system is coming in 8.3, right?
No, it's actually 9.0, I think. So it's like
long
enough away that I feel like it's worth it if you really want a character at max level.
So I will be continuing to do my alts after this recording, but that was most of it. I was going to try and finish the Hollow's End achievables, but by the time that I went to go do that, it was Day of the Dead. And then I was like, I don't know if this counts or what's going on. Like, I can't buy. The vendor for the pumpkin heads was gone. So I was just like, oopsie doopsie. So I guess I won't be getting any sort of proto Jake for another year.
No.
Jake.
Yep. It's the fun of it, but that was mostly my week. Also, I played with Caitlin for a little bit. We played and then we recorded a short thing while you guys were gone. That'll be up later this week. But it was slow going, but it was an enjoyable enough week. Immune, what did you do in the World of Warcraft?
Well, since we were at BlizzCon, obviously, I didn't get to play a whole lot, but when we did get back...
You did log in Friday. I don't know if that was some sort of bug or if roommate Glenn was doing some playing in your behalf. You were on, it said, in WoW for about an hour.
Huh, I don't know how, because the only thing I could think of is if it was in like the companion app, but I'm pretty sure it says in the companion app most of the time.
Yeah, it says in app, but no, that was in Warcraft.
X-File music plays. But I got the pre-order for Shadowlands, so I got a boost and I used it on my Paladin, so Salinity is now max level.
Woo! Big Mama Sal!
Big Mama Sal is back in the house, and I've been trying to gear her up a little bit, so that's what I've been doing like the last day or two. How about you, Slide?
I pre-ordered Shadowlands Epic Edition. I used that sweet 120 boost, and I boosted my Discipline Priest, who is now eye level, I think, like 401, maybe? It's so nice because the boost puts them at Heart of Azeroth level 50. It gives you 390 gear. Don't have any fucking essences, though. It's like, can I get a catch-up on that, please? So I've been learning how to heal as Disc Priest, and Jesus Christ, healing as Disc Priest is so terrifying. I both love it and hate it, so we'll see how that continues on. I'm real curious what we're going to do in Raid tonight, because I feel like probably nothing is the answer. So I guess while we were gone, no one's been logging on to WoW, because it's just like, it's our break period. So it's just been a dead-ass guild.
Yeah,
I kinda
after
have a-
like 8 p.m., I haven't been, because I've just been like watching Netflix or something like that. Not that I am the guild, but like I know I at least have not been showing up to any of these events.
I mean, sometimes it feels like the three of us are the guild, so.
I think a lot of it is just is a big old break, and I think now with this anniversary event that is now popped into WoW as of today, people should be coming back. I'm pretty sure because everybody wants to get this sweet ass Deathwing mount.
Boy, are they. That might come up a little bit later.
Honestly, it can just come up now because we didn't do anything in raid, right? So we can just start talking about that.
Yeah, so immediately before recording this, we started working on our progress towards getting the 15th anniversary event Deathwing mount, and that involved going to the Caverns of Time, meeting up with Chromie, took some advice from Aaron, and turned off War Mode, which I now see is very helpful advice because there's so many Horde down there, and I just feel like it would be its own battleground.
Yeah, when I first showed up, it was, and I know I do like to exaggerate, like there's like 100 guys. There was literally 45 Horde to the point that when I landed, I was dead. Like they all hit me with an ability when I landed. And what followed was about 10 minutes just to even try and get up the twisty tunnel enough to warp out of there. And I'm a huge proponent of like, oh, keep war mode on because like that's what it's about. But kills don't even count down there. It's just about being mean. So it's like, just turn it off to get the quests. I beg you.
Kind of reminds me of how it works when Pandaria time walking's around and you take that long trek out to the Timeless Isle, and then it's just 84 hordes standing around staring at you, daring you to come closer. Only this is like that times like 100, it feels like.
Yeah, so we all traveled down there, and the area is really fun for the anniversary. As we were saying, it kind of felt like a little museum to the history of WoW.
There's like there's feasts down there from all the expansions. They have the trivia guy there. I wonder if he's still in Stormwind, because I know that the one that we used to go to was where Harrison Jones was in the library in Stormwind Keep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else? There was something else that they had that was really
They
cool.
have the gong of like the sacred scarab. The big thing that crashed the servers back in vanilla. They have it. When you talk to the bronze dragon next to it, she's like, I don't know, you mortals have been talking about this stupid thing for 15 years. Here it is. Hit it all you want.
I rang the shit out of that gong.
I know, because you can hear when other people do it. So I watched you, and there's no like motion of you like touching it, but I watched you approach it, and it was like, bah, 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 bah. And I was like, he's really having fun with that thing.
Make me the Scarab Lord. I earned it with all the button mashes I did for that gong. So then we did that, and it's basically just, as I said, a living museum to old WoW. But so we started to do the LFR wings. We queued up for the Outland part and did that pretty easy. You get like a little cool animation when you go in, and it's kind of like you're riding a ride at a theme park, and Chromie's like walking you through it, and it feels very safe, even though people were dying in their raids. But it feels like if you're dying in that, you're just really not trying, I feel like.
Or you're on Archimond, and he just ran you into the fire with one of his 7,000 10-second fears.
Ugh. And what was it that he kept saying?
It was like, it's cost Trish.
Yeah, it was like it cost Trish, because I remember I made the joke of like, Trish knows what she did.
It was interesting seeing these raid bosses and in a setting where we don't just like solo them in one shot.
Good God, do you not solo them in one shot? The Archimon fight took forever because, as Immune said, he's just constantly fearing, which I'm sure people are like, well, duh, he does that in the raid. And it's just, people just kept dying in the fires, and that just took forever because we had low DPS on them.
And then we attempted to queue for the Kata one, but according to other people we were in there with, right now when you queue for Kata, Chromie, who starts the quest, just doesn't exist.
Yeah, we were sitting in there for, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that long. It was like a minute and a half. But I saw Chromie wasn't there. So I was like, guys, this isn't going to work. Let's just fucking leave. Like, we can queue up again immediately. And then we got Dungeon Deserter for leaving a bugged queue.
So here we are recording this episode now.
I wanted to record it and say I had my Deathwing mount. It's bullshit.
So did you know, because I didn't know until I saw this, that there is a stipulation of who can or cannot do the 15th anniversary quests?
What are they?
Well, that'll be covered in this week's In Your Face Heroes Call Board.
Oh, shit.
On the scene. It's Heroes Call Board. 15th anniversary celebration for all. unless you haven't been playing. Comics. The level 120 human rogue says, good to see that I bought 30 days of game time because this anniversary event was going to be so cool and reward a nice mount, only to find you have to participate, you have to be over item level 380. Way to go, Blizz.
Do you really?
Apparently so, according to comics. We want people to be able to play together. Unless you haven't played in a while, then fuck them. You think that since the content is scaling us back to 70, 80, and 85 respectively, the gear wouldn't matter, but no. Another arbitrary lockout of content that could have made players who want to come back enjoy something. Instead, get fucked, because you don't want to play our garbage expansion. Sincerely, Blizzard. Just another reason why retail servers are empty and vanilla has login queues.
Damn, that's one angry boy.
But my ultimate favorite, though, is I'm like, okay, people respect him. People lit comics the fuck up on this post.
What do they say?
Going down the line, do the opening quest line in Nash, you'll get 380 in 30 minutes. It's not that difficult to do. 380 loot rains from the sky. Get the fuck over it. So you play Classic and complain about gear getting too hard to get? Read that sentence over again, genius. You have 2 months to get the eye level requirement. It's not that hard, cool guy.
Yeah, well, it sounds like these other replies got them for us.
That's why I said, I was like, in the pre-production meeting, I was like, it's going to be a quick one, but I didn't know you had to be a certain eye level. That's honestly really interesting to me.
I slightly agree with comics, not in the way that he went about it, but it is kind of odd that for an anniversary event, which is kind of made to bring back people, that they would have such a, I would say, high eye level requirement. I guess honestly 380 isn't that high now that I think about it.
Within 2 months, too.
Yeah, because like as one of the other replies said, you can just go and grind out a few pieces of like the benthic gear, which is 385 base, and that's good enough.
Fucking comics. I'm glad he got roasted, but did he ever like respond to anything, or is that his only post? He posted and sick run away.
He came back to say, not complaining about difficulty. I, and a lot of other people, do not want to spend time in retail at the current state. I finally found something I might enjoy doing that wouldn't involve current content, and it has an eye level requirement. For a scaled-down instance where people are using Legion Legos, Frostmourne, and WAD rings.
Frostmourne? Who's using Frostmourne?
And then people jumped on that one and started beating him up too, including, as of yet, our only Heroes Callboard All-Star, Mortis.
Oh, shit.
He was in there, and he was like, you're dumb.
Is that all he had to say?
Is that what he actually said verbatim? Oh, okay.
It's not. If you bought 30 months, which he didn't, Mortis, he bought 30 days of game time, you would have more than enough time to get to 380. It's easy and it's fast, especially with Ben Thick. He put it with 3 C's. Gear.
Oh, Mortis. What a guy.
What a pal.
So this guy, the original poster here said that he plays Classic, right? Isn't it the same sub as Wow Yum?
Yes. Unless he's playing on a private server, which is probably what he's doing.
So that was neither here nor there. I just saw that and I was like, do you really need to be 380? And then it became even sweeter when not a single person, and I'm still scrolling, not a single person identifies with him.
That's actually crazy that nobody backed him up.
I mean, he went about it in a very aggressive way.
Oh, I just realized, did you guys even get your little Nefarian pet? Like, did you put him out
Yes.
yet?
I opened it and collected it, but I have not put it out yet.
He does a special emote randomly where he says he's the king of the black dragons and he'll shoot fire.
Ooh, yes. I love that shit. I guess we can talk a little bit. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the Shadowlands Epic and Heroic and regular editions, because it's really interesting. This is the cheapest that they've made an expansion, right? I think we already talked about this like off the podcast.
So the base pre-order or expansion prices, isn't it normally 60?
Yeah, pretty sure it's 60, right?
I would think.
And then they normally just have like one rank higher, just the deluxe.
Yeah, it's usually like an 80 edition that is like the fancy one.
So it seems like this time they just divided it into 3, and like the middle one being what the base one was before, and then their cheaper one that's just the game.
Yeah, because before, whenever you'd buy an expansion, you'd always get the boost because it came auto included in price, but they pulled it apart kind of nicely, so if you didn't want to pay so much money, you had an option to take the cheaper one and just like, well, I don't really want to boost
what I did.
And then I did the opposite.
I also did the opposite because I really actually like the mount, mainly, and the T-Mog that you can get with the mount and the pet. I just feel like all of it was really in line with Immune's aesthetic. And
Oh yeah, that's so you.
and also I feel like it was a good deal because you got a free month of WoW too, which technically brings it down to like $15.
But what's interesting in this one is the mount that you get for the heroic and opticians. This mount is just like just a big weird worm thing. I don't even know what the descriptive word for it would be. How would you describe this fucking worm? An energy plated worm?
Oh, I was gonna say that you could tell that it's basically the frame or build of it is like the mana worms or the gross ones that drop from the one raid boss. Which one was that?
The Naga lady in Legion, like the purple eel snake guy, the abyssal something.
Yes, that one. That's what I'm thinking of. But I feel like they reskinned it, and it has like gold plates, and then the inside of it seems to be like a flow of like blue anima, which is what I feel like they are trying to make it seem like.
Is that what it's supposed to be? Is it connects to Shadowlands and it's a creature of anima?
That's
is it
what
supposed
I
to be like
thought
a Kyrian thing?
Yeah, because I think it is a Kyrian mount, so it's like the Bastion Covenant.
Yeah. So at BlizzCon they have these art areas. You can look at art for a BFA or the art of Shadowlands. And in the art of Shadowlands area, they had a list of the 4 different covenants, and then the 5th city, the main hub, and it showed the color of their anima and what their anima looked like when it was being activated. It was really weird. But I think the Kyrian anima is basically what I saw as what's inside of this weird ass energy worm guy.
That would make sense. Blue for them, purple for the bears that you guys had a weird hard on for. Probably red for Ravendreth and dark purple or green for the stinky one.
You basically nailed it.
Remember when Thrall's mom is king of the stinky one?
That was so weird. They're and also in hell, Agra's here. And I'm like, huh? Agra's leading the weird bone people?
And it's okay, it's because of her warrior spirit. It's not because she's mean or she did that weird thing where she opened up her boobie and made Thrall drink blood.
Yeah, they basically, I feel like they just threw her in there because so then they could be like, see? They are all bad.
That's kind of what I feel like too. But this fucking mount is super weird for another reason. So on its butt is a spinning golden globe, and if you click on this globe, a man, and I believe it's a Kyrian man, wearing this full-on mask and ropes, pops out of your weird energy worm, and just gives you a quest to farm these echoes that you need to get the transmog.
Yeah, so a lot of people are upset.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about this because they're like, wait, we paid a little bit of extra money to get this feature or this bonus thing from the pre-order, and now you're making us grind out these echoes in order to get our transmog set because the reward from his quest that it gives you is the T-Mog set.
Yeah, so you don't just get to buy the transmog. You get to buy the mount, and then you get to work for the transmog, which I think is interesting. I kind of like it, but then I kind of think they went a little bit too far with this one.
I was going to say, have you started? I was about to say, have you started collecting it? How easy is it to do this?
So me and Immune, we started this on Monday, our day off from work, because it's post BlizzCon. We're just chilling at home. We're like, let's farm out this echoes for this transmog, and I think the first couple of mobs you kill have a very high chance to drop 1 to 6 echoes that you need. And
what is the ultimate number that you need?
Oh, the ultimate goal you need is 40. You need 40 echoes. So when I first started, there's this area that spawns a lot of blood trolls, and they spawn really quickly. So everyone's there. Everyone's there farming these fucking blood trolls and murdering them for their echoes. And I ended up with about 5 or 6 within the first 10 minutes. Immune had 1 drop for him, and then you just got a very slow drip of 1 every couple of minutes or ish.
Yeah, so basically we grinded for an hour and a half almost, I think, and I ended with 6, I think.
And I ended with about 8 or 9. But then we went on our alts that we boosted, because we boosted our alts, and we were playing with some guildies, the only guildies left playing, who also boosted their alts. So we're kind of just like going through like Mythic Zeros together with them. And I guess certain content gives you these echoes. So we queued for LFR to get gear, and clearing a boss gave us a chance at 1 echo. So my alt actually ended up with 11 echoes, while my main only had 9. So I'm like, God damn it! Like my alt has more, so do I keep farming on her, or do I go back to the main? Because once you unlock it, anyone can wear it. It's set for all characters, all classes, all anything. It just feels like it's a really excessive grind.
And people have grinded it out in one sitting. I don't know how they would do that, but I wouldn't.
It's not interesting. It's unfortunate because when I hear that, when it enters my ear holes, I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like, I'd be willing to do that. But also, each day, I realize that, like, I'm like a World of Warcraft whale. Like, I'm not actually, like, going out and buying all these things. But they can be, like, to get flying, you have to play for 7,000 hours and then, like, delete your bank account. I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. I'd do that.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds good to me. And then this is one guy who said, if you have out your animal wormling pet from the Epic Edition, it has a better chance of you getting echoes. And like fools me and you're like, yes, this must be true. Put it on. I don't think it's true. I think he was just saying it. It could be true, but we haven't seen an increase in percentage drops for us.
Well, I will say I thought I did, because immediately after I brought out the pet, my next drop gave me 3 of them. But then that was it for the rest of the night.
So, to be determined. I feel like all the info on it is still so unknown because no one has it yet. Or, I mean, people have it, but, like, not enough people have it yet to really know the pattern on where to farm it and what the drops are,
I just got the standard edition because I have way too many 119s anyways.
Well, you know what they say, those 119s are going to turn to level 50 when the expansion drops?
Yeah, I think they just become 50. I don't think it would be like 49.
Honestly,
I'm using Papa Cheese's strategy, so I'm not worried.
Wait, hold up. No, that's wrong, I think. Because if you think about it, they said every 120 person will turn to 50, right? Is that what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 119, would you then hit 40?
No. I feel like you would be like 49.5 or 0.7 or something like that.
What if you're like level 40? Just 0 is 1? 13? What is the math for this?
Yeah, what is the conversion rate?
Because there's got to be some area in there that doesn't fit up with their oh, he's doing math over there. He's doing math. Look out, everybody. The engineer's doing math.
Oh, no, I was not doing math. There's just something I wanted to talk about that I needed to write down or else I would forget.
Oh, I thought you were writing like a formula for like 120 is this right now. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, technically, I feel like if you did, you would convert it by like taking whatever level and then scaling it based on 50 equaling 120.
According to the 120 becomes 50, 2.4 is your conversion rate. So if you were level 40... you would technically be level 17.
That's so fucking weird. It's going to be so weird when this happens.
Yeah, or as Aaron's 119s, if you divide it by that factor, they would end up being 49.58.
There you go, everybody. We're an educated podcast. We got numbers. We got words.
Hashtag we did the math.
We have, what, 3 bachelors of masters and whatever I have hanging up next to me. we can do math.
But you know who can do math even better? Growliina.
Ooh, girl, she actually can't. She was more of an arts focus. She's not good at her maths and sciences.
Well, that's so sad.
Growliina, use that humanities degree. What you got?
Hello, everyone. Growliina here, fresh off the convention floor. I'm rested, relaxed, and ready for some journalism. I'm here today with Garbadoon. Garb, what about our trip to the Shadowlands are you most excited about?
Probably the Covenant system. The different areas seemed cool.
Which Covenants are you pulling for? Which one would you suggest?
Well, I'm going with the Blue Angel guys.
The Kyrian? Nah, not going for them myself.
Are you more of a vampire guy?
Nope,
The nasty ones?
nope, too gross.
Then the druid people?
Nope, not hardcore enough for me.
Well, which one are you going for then?
I might go unswayed. Start up my own covenant. Create the Church of Growliina. That's got a nice ring to it, don't you say?
Well, good luck with that.
And good luck to you, Garb. I can't wait till the Church of Growliina crushes your silly blue angel men under our heel. Till that day comes, this has been Growl on the Prowl.
Oh, Growliina, that sure was content that I know at this moment.
I know about it as well.
Whoa.
As she was giving that very thought-provoking interview and report, I remembered the thing I was trying to remember earlier when you thought I was doing quick maths.
Oh god, what was it?
It was that earlier today they announced that the 8.3 patch and the Nyalotha raid will be out in, quote, early 2020.
Ooh.
Okay, so does that mean like January? 'Cause that's where my brain goes automatically. Is like January, like early January.
So, I don't know. I was thinking maybe like mid-January the patch drops, beginning of February the raid drops. Huh?
I can see that because
Mm,
they always do that thing where it's like it's Christmas, you don't want to raid on Christmas, so we're going to give you a buffer a little bit. So I'm thinking 2 to 3 weeks out from the holidays, maybe like mid-January. That's my guess. Because then if they do that, then yeah, you're right. Then the raid drops way later than that, and it's perfect for the raiders to get back in there.
R.I.P. Caitlin moving in at that exact time. She'll be like, I'm finally here. Let's hang out. And I'm like, sorry, girl. I have to go to Nyalotha and fight the Elder Gods.
That's when you just say gamer boys and gamer girls unite, and you buy her a boost, and you get her to max level and put her in Phoenix Fusion rating. Because they won't know the difference between her and anybody else.
She might outrank some of the folks that show up to raid night.
We still love them, though. Even not everybody has to be good. That's not a, you can still be there and have fun.
We're all heroes in our own regard.
Okay, Winston, calm down there.
But while we're speaking of heroes, I'm going to pull a time warp.
No.
I decided to pull the time warp because I don't think there is any reason behind who gets time warp after a failed 100,000 copper necropolis, because I don't know what to do with that.
Kel'Thuzad just spins the wheel and assigns somebody to do it. He's like, I'm not doing this.
And it's immune. You got it, big bud.
Ba-da-ba.
Let me just get this little timer set up here.
Wow, is your timer ready for once?
Wow, I'm always the one that doesn't have a timer set.
Yeah, we know.
As I said, this one involves heroes, and in particular, heroes related to the game of Hearthstone. And what I'm going to ask you guys is in 40 seconds to name as many hero characters, like the ones that you can play as, besides the Death Knight ones, so we're not doing those. So name as many of the heroes that you can play as in Hearthstone. 40 seconds. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are we doing last names too?
Just if it's enough for me to understand who you're talking about, that's fine.
I don't like it. I don't like that question.
Ready, set, go.
Garrosh,
Illyria,
Illyria, Jaina, Anduin,
Rexar, Thrall,
Ragnaros,
Arthas,
Murky,
Magni,
or Murloc, Murgle the Oracle,
Uther,
Illyria, Magni, Arthas,
Anduin, Khadgar, Jaina,
Medivh,
Malfurion,
Kalecgos, Valera, Sanguini,
yeah, Valera, shit.
Lich King Jaina,
Arthas,
Shadow
Time.
Anduin. Look how I started naming the ones you said not to name.
Yeah, I was like, I told you not to name those ones.
Fuck you, Mom.
But also, I don't know what I was thinking. Again, I will have to count this in post, so my bad.
Wow. Wow,
Well, I do
as
have
usual.
this shot.
I think it
set
was
up in
actually
front of me.
kind of close, though.
What's up? It's not Immune, but it's me instead. You know who it is. It's your boy. So let's see. I had Garrosh, Jaina, Anduin, Ragnaros, Murgle the Oracle, Tyrande, Medivh, Valyria, which is 8. Aaron had Illyria, Rexxar, Thrall, Arthas, Magni, Uther, Khadgar, and Malfurion. What do you fucking know? Deadass tie. We both had 8. We all drink for a reason. It was part of the plan. Now back to whatever's happening in this podcast. I think Aaron might have beaten me. He was saying a lot of the ones that I forgot, like, really quickly, and then I was trying to go for like that. Oh, I know Illyria. You can pay for her.
It was hard, though, because
Yeah,
right off the
it's-
bat, you guys named, like, the 3 ones right in a row, basically almost at the same time, and I was like, oh my god. So, I don't know what we do with this right now. I'm going to drink because I was unable to score it.
I'm going to
Taking
take
my
the shot
shot.
and just leave the mic on for when I die.
So cheers, everyone, to Timewarp again.
Doing that shot.
And there you have it.
Also,
That
I'm
was
convinced. I'm convinced that because I shouted Illyria, my kitty cat Illyria came running up to me because she's right here now. She's like, "Hey, I want pets," because I called her.
That's actually really interesting because when I said Khadgar, your other kitty cat, Khadgar, is right next to me. And I'm like, dude, how did you go like 300 miles in just a couple seconds?
I mean, he is a wizard.
Knowledge
Yes,
is power,
he-
he says.
Oh, you know what? I do hear a weird wind noise in my living room. And now that I'm going and checking, there is a portal out there.
And
That makes sense.
You did get a request statement on your table next to you that says that he is requesting 4,982 Apexis crystals.
Oh, shit. What's he doing over there? He's waving his paw. He's bringing the entirety of Dalaran into my living room. You can't just do that, Khadgar. You can't do that every time you move.
He says it's been a few expansions since we've moved this place.
I kind of miss getting Apethys crystals for Khadgar. Can we do that again, please?
Can we make some WAD guys? Can we do that? Can we just make some WAD guys and do WAD stuff? We're just WAD guys doing what WAD guys do.
Wad stuff.
Wad City.
Wad
Hanging
Wad
out
City,
Ashra
bitch.
and making ladies swoon.
Ooh. All right, hey, so let's talk about WoW. Let's go back to BlizzCon because let's go back to the beginning of the episode 30 minutes ago. We were talking about it. Let's discuss that fucking cinematic where, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know what you're doing. Sylvanas fights Daddy Bolvar.
Yeah, so Slide and I talked about it a little bit in our Intoxicated Stupor last episode. But Aaron, what are your thoughts of the cinematic? We haven't heard from you yet.
So I obviously did not like that Sylvanas did all the things she did, but I understand why, because she does, like, she has the power of the void, which is wet and wild. The only thing is, I feel like Bolvar really could have turned the tides if he had not picked an environment with so many environmental hazards. Like,
what is
he
Mortal
would-
Kombat 10?
He was Lucio over here, standing next to the edge, like, I'm going to boop you, and then she booped him. And it's like, if you had just moved further inland away from all your spires, sir, you might have won.
Yeah,
Also,
and
people
I was talking with
people
the
are like, how can he lose this fight? And it's like, I mean, I'm sure he's been, like, doing some burpees and some jumping jacks in the meantime, but Bolvar has pretty much just been sitting on his icy booty for like a decade plus. Sylvanas has been out there in the field. It does not surprise me that she kicks the shit out of him.
So, in that regard, one, is the previous power that was associated with the Lich King more of along the lines unique power to Arthas as the Lich King? Was he, like, tier list above Bolvar the Lich King for other reasons?
I always assume Bolvar could barely do his job. Like, he sat down in the Frozen Throne and then he turned himself into a mage ice block because he's like, I need to focus 1000% on this Helm of Domination. job.
Yeah, because as he said in the cinematic, that it basically almost made him go mad, which is what he was saying to Sylvanas.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they couldn't just let Bolvar get one meaty thwack of his hammer on her. Sarfang scratched her with his sword. Yes. No, not even yes. Because think about the timeline. Okay, well, I guess to be fair, that isn't 9.0. So we don't know what's going to happen in 8.3 with N'Zoth, right? She probably gets super powered up, I guess. But it's just like, I don't know, give him something. It felt so weird to have the Lich King go out like such a punk.
That said, and this is shooting for the stars, maybe they'll just make him like go home and Anduin will make him a milkshake. I think he's going to have his vengeance eventually. I am calling it now. He is going to pull a Tyrion Forge Ring. We're going to fight Sylvanas, but then Bolvar will be the one to take her out.
Does Bolvar have one of like the strongest wills and minds of like any being on Azeroth? Not only did he willingly put on the Helm of Domination to control the Scourge, he withstood all the whispers from the helm. He had it taken off and shattered, and he didn't like go insane from like, you know, for Arthas, that was his world. His world was the Lich King being inside of that helmet. And now Bolvar's like, I don't have it anymore. Pretty cool. I'm okay with that.
Well, I guess we really don't know what has happened to Bolvar after the cinematic. We've really only seen the cinematic, but I guess we can assume that he does not succumb to madness and that he probably will be involved in some other storylines moving forward, probably with the new Death Knight information that we've been getting.
No, I was thinking about this later. I thought as soon as the helm was snapped, he would snap and he'd like fall over and die because he went so insane. She took his helmet off and he was still like, you motherfucker. Do you think he's going to become an Alliance hero again?
I mean, I would say there's honestly kind of room for it. Because he put on the helmet, sat on that throne, and was frozen for 4 expansions. And to be fair,
from End of Wrath to now.
Moves to Legion. In Legion, he did do some bad guy stuff. He was the one who ordered the Death Knights to attack the Paladin Order. No, wait. Did he attack the Priest Order Hall or the Paladin Order Hall? I think it was the Paladin Order Hall. Because he wanted to seize Uther's body to raise him as a 4 horseman. So he literally had you as an Alliance Death Knight, or Death Knight, attack the Paladin Order Hall and lead an invasion to grab the body. That's kind of fucked up.
Whoa, I didn't know about this. The only time I ever saw him during Legion was when I went to get Feomalorn, and he, still in his mage ice block, was like, I don't like you here. Leave, please.
Huh.
Well,
yeah, I forgot about that whole Death Knight scenario as well.
And I do believe the Death Knight's racial mount, the quest involves them going and hunting down and killing a red dragon to then raise it as their mount. So Bolvar has been kind of a bad guy for a while in Legion. I mean, I guess you could say maybe it's just the helmet talking, but I don't know.
Either way, even if he was a bad guy up until now, possibly, he has it in the cards to have like a face turn and a redemption story. I mean, we have the inevitable meeting of him and his daughter Talia, right? Like, that has to happen.
Oh shit! And now the helmet's off, so now he can be more normal-ish, despite his burning
now
flesh.
he can be the dad she needs. She's like, I put myself in a big fire just to be like you, Dad. And he's like, you really don't need to speak British at me. I don't know why you're doing that. Oh, tip-top cheerio, father. And he's like, I wish Sylvanas killed me.
Oh. What do you think she did with him? Did she just leave? She's like, you know what, bitch? Bye. Like, did she leave him chained up? Because if so, that's really fucked up. Because Arthas had Bolvar chained up until we went and killed him on top of Icecrown. You know what I mean?
Also, his 15 ghouls, will they attack him? He has no way to... That's a big thing. There's no way to control the Scourge anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to cleave through those losers just to even get to ICC to begin Shadowlands.
Wait, you're right. Bolvar just kind of is in the middle of like a ghoulish hellland now because he can't control any of them. That's the whole idea of the helmet. You're right, Eric. He's fucked. He's fucked up there. Like, can I get a portal, please? Someone get me out of here.
I think I heard somewhere that like we will have to go there as the player characters, and there are probably going to be events where we actually do have to fight off the Scourge.
I would not be surprised if Death Knights have a special quest where they go and retrieve Bolvar. Like, that seems very, very cool for them to do.
With the last of his magic, he sends them a message like, can you pick me up? I'm at the top of ICC. You guys are going to have to cleave past all your buddies. Sorry.
Drop me a death gate, please.
I requested an Uber, but it said its arrival time is 10 years, so...
Now that the Helm of Domination is gone, I'm actually hungry. Like, I have to do human stuff now. Can you get me a snack, too?
Feed him.
But to get back to the cinematic, Sylvanas snaps the helm in half, and then the sky shatters open, and you see basically into the Shadowlands, and the top of the jailer's tower in the maw is directly above what is the top of ICC.
Did you
God,
just
that
say
would be such
the
a cool
jailer?
print.
The jailer.
The jailer.
I am fuck you, Aaron. I'm still very upset. An opening ceremony. Opening ceremonies happen. I watched the cinematic for
You got kicked out of the opening ceremonies to go get a hot picture of Bolvar.
I thought. Now, granted, I saw all the leaks online that said the print was gonna be Bolvar with a super little hammer doing whatever. But once they finished that Shadowlands cinematic and they showed the beautiful skybox of like the shattered ceiling and like the dimension rift and all that shit, I was like, that is gonna be the print. The Shadowlands is gonna be the fucking print. And I ran. I said, Immune, I have to go. I'm running to the store right now. I left during half the ceremony to buy this print that I was sure was gonna be the fucking print. No, it was still the goddamn Bolvar print. That would have been so much cooler. Ugh.
It would have been, definitely, because I feel like the three of us don't really have a connection to the Lich King or Bolvar or that expansion, so like it's not as cool to us or as nostalgic to us as some of the other people who have been playing since then. So when they saw this, they probably marked out more. But like my jaw dropped when like the sky shattered and I was like, what the fuck is happening? I like literally my jaw dropped when she ripped the helm open and the sky opened, and it did not close again until the cinematic was over.
I shrieked in my home. It's a very good thing that my two roommates were with the two of you. Well, I guess Andrew was under some stairs, but we're with the two of you because I was like, ah, in my home.
Now, we know that these cinematics are built years in advance. Like, this takes a while to render and put out. Do you think Blizzard got pissed when Fortnite did the ceiling smashing and now there's a new dimensional rift? Like, fuck, we were gonna do that first.
Yeah, so then they're like, oh, scrap this. We can still have it shatter, but it's not going to be another dimension. It's just the Shadowlands. This is the death zone, not a dimension. It's death, okay?
They were quaking in their boots.
Even more so, so I saw that Final Fantasy XIV was firing at Warcraft and be like, glad to see you're finally in the shadows, because their new expansion was called Shadowbringers. And I was like, boo!
It is funny, though. I do think that the other two big MMOs, I don't remember their names, they also have Shadow in their name. There's like 5 games with expansions that are Shadow-esque. It's like, was everyone thinking the same thing? Was everybody ready to go to the shadowy place in their games?
From what I saw, Final Fantasy XIV, everywhere is a shadowy place, because all the worlds are gray and drab.
I tried playing it, and I absolutely hated it. Just did not feel right.
Because at the time, which I know we were standing in support, you were like, this is a lot of fun. I was like, what's going to happen when we come back? What's going to be the tea on Final Fantasy XIV?
I hated it.
I will say I enjoyed it enough, but like, I don't know. It's just different. It's a whole nother feel.
Yeah.
It just is different as an MMO. It felt incredibly more like text and quest driven, a little more like personal in that sense, which I thought was cool. It just is a different game, and maybe I'm more apt to like it because I was a Final Fantasy head like my entire life to begin with.
Ugh. It sounds like you belong in jail with the jailer.
I belong
The
in
jailer.
chains. The jailer's chain.
Jailer's chains.
Can we talk about
Sylvanas'
how...
best pal.
Yeah, what the fuck? Sylvanas has made deals with now Helia, Ajara, and apparently before all of them, the jailer, who's our new big bad, question mark?
That's
So-
what it sounded like in the Q&A.
I'm not at all typically like I'll let them tell whatever story they want to do, even if some of it is like sneaking around and being like, oh, this means this. So she made a big thing talking about the fact that like death is nothing. Like when you die, it is an empty blackness and it's nothing. Was that all a fun goof 'em up? Because we are now getting an entire expansion about how death is various worlds, apparently.
So, if my information is correct, I believe when she first threw her body off of Ice Crown, she died, right? Then she realized that death fucking sucked, and there was more to death other than blackness, and it was so bad that she did not want to be there, and her Valkyrie came and saved her. What it sounds like is when she died the first time, she met the jailer and saw all this horrible shit that was happening, and then was like, nah bitch, make me alive again. And possibly made a deal with the jailer, and then that broke the machinery of death in the Shadowlands.
Of course, the machinery of death is broken.
Okay, so we missed this section. Yeah, we missed this segment of the WoW panel because we were locked out. But when we got back to the hotel later and were kind of high, we saw Ian having this philosophical talk, which like I was just like, what is being said here right now? Because he said the machinery of death is broken.
So I watched it sober again the next day, and it still seemed like weird nonsense. He was just like, when you die, what is good and what is bad? And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
A lot of it, I think, was just a lot of like, what is good, what is bad, is justification for people wanting to pick the aesthetically ugly covenants. He didn't want everyone jumping on the Feywild and Bastion, like those people. He wanted some
sense.
people to pick like stinky, grotesque Abomination World and Vampire World. And his justification was like, remember, like, people live different lives. And also, these characters you claim to like live in these worlds. So I think a lot of it was just he was trying to get people for Ravenloft, and I don't even know the actual name of the stinky place. Just Stinky Place. If you pick Stinky Place, now Traxxas. If you pick Naltraxxus, you nasty. That's
You nasty.
That's
If you
Aaron
pick
of
Maldraxxus,
DNR's official
your mom's
thing.
a hoe.
Your mom's a hoe. Literally, he was like, here's a gross skeleton man and a zombie made out of just arms.
So basically,
Pick this one, please.
He was saying if you join the Stinky Covenant, you're a freak. But-
Maybe I'm joining the Stinky Covenant.
But like that could be a good thing. You can go and get a freak on.
Right
No.
now, I'm leaning heavily towards Ravenloft.
My
I'm
question
also
is-
hoping to kill Kael'thas again, so I can go back to being the
leave him
only relevant
alone.
fire mage.
He needs this. This is all he has now. Now, I'm wondering, which covenant do you think we have to join to be in with this week's sexiest NPC of the week?
Who is it?
Ooh, tell me.
I'll give you 3 hints. He's Sylvanas' daddy. He likes
Ooh.
whips and chains. And his profession is the jailer.
That probably tells me something about his identity.
I was gonna say, like, up until that last point, I'm like, this could be Nathanos, maybe.
Nope.
Nathanos wishes he was Sylvanas' daddy.
No,
He's
if
like her
anything, it's the other
shoes.
way around.
Because if you guessed correctly, this week's sexiest NPC of the week is the Jailer.
Ooh, ah.
Lock me up. Throw away the key. I don't even want it.
So as you guys know, we love ourselves a bad boy. And apparently the Jailer is the baddest boy we haven't even met yet, because he's on another plane of existence, baby.
Girl.
He's got luscious locks, I think. He's got big spikes on his shoulders, yes. And he's chained up too. Has the Jailer jailed himself? Is he that good at his job?
Ooh, girl.
Maybe he's just on a giant throne that has chains on it.
Like, he's like the center post of all the jails he's making, and like he's like attaching them to himself. Is that what you're just saying?
No, I'm saying that he's sitting on a throne that's chained to the ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see
the
it
chains
now.
are just for aesthetics.
Oh, whoa! Look at this picture. I kind of still think that these are shoulder pieces, and that he just has chains on him. That he will chain you up to himself.
Oh, well, that could be.
I do see the throne. I see it. It's like do you see the rabbit, or do you see the lady with the hat? What do you see in this image?
Basically, what we're saying is that not only is this a sexy bad boy, this is a mysterious man that we don't know much about.
Speaking of sexy bad boys, I can see his piercing blue eyes and his spiky armor and his gold hair, because it's just going to be Arthas. It's just going to be Arthas.
Hear me out. So my thought process right now is close to yours. He looks very similar to King Tyrannus. He has the crown. He has the flowing white hair, maybe. I can't really tell that's hair. That's just like his head. But like, this kind of reminds me of King Tyrannus, which I don't know why he would be the Jailer. It makes no sense. But wait, didn't Sylvanas kill herself immediately after Arthas died? So do you think Arthas just died and was like, hey, I got power now?
Yeah,
automatically?
I think he came down and they were like, you are the big bad voodoo daddy, the baddest bad boy we've ever seen. Do you want a job? And he was like, yep.
That sounded like a Scott Steiner reference there for a second.
I tried.
No, but wouldn't Sylvanas, if she's making a deal with the Jailer, wouldn't she know that'd be Arthas? Like, you know what I mean? She'd be like, oh, fuck this.
Also, I will say before we get too excited about this theory, I think in the Q&A they basically said that the Jailer is somebody that we have never met and that it's a new character. So, like, unless...
You've never truly met Arthas. You didn't even know his middle name.
I'll kind of be let down in the end if it is just Arthas. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I would be pissed if that was Arthas. I'd be kind of mad. Don't put this voodoo out there. He's dark, tall, and mysterious. Like my coffee.
I like him. Ooh, I want to get swallowed up by him, like all the souls have for the past 10 years.
Wrap me up in those chains, Jailer.
Ooh, in chains.
Chains. Now, do you think we're going to get a cool cinematic with all of the night elves that Sylvanas burned at Teldrassil dragging her down the hell? A la Hercules, or Hades in Hercules? You know, when he gets dropped into that pool of spirits?
I could see it. Is that really just what the Maw is? Is the Maw just that?
I mean, no.
Yeah, just a storm of souls.
Kind of. It basically is. And they said that all the souls who have died in Azeroth in the past, 10 years, whatever, are in there. So that means all those night elves are going to fuck her up. That's my final prediction. They're going to fuck her up.
Yeah, because like it's probably literally just filled with wisps.
They're going to explode and break out the Jailer from his chains.
If they're his chains, is he truly locked up?
Honestly, he wouldn't be the Jailer if he didn't jail himself. I feel like he's like, I'm so bad, I got to train myself up.
The first person I have to jail is myself. It's just a matter of principle.
Reveals lipstick. The Jailer.
Anyway, the Jailer. We'll give you your award in like a year when your expansion comes out.
and I'm going to assume we're not going to see him for a while, even when Shadowlands comes out.
I kind of feel like the Jailer's going to be our very first two-time sexiest NPC of the week. Because
once we actually find out when what he looks like.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back and just give him like a reboot.
So let us clarify that this week's Sexiest NPC of the Week award goes to the Mysterious Jailer.
The Jailer, your award, 1 year. See ya then.
I guess to give you your award, we have to kill it. So I'm going to go drown this trophy so that it can end up in the maw for you.
Yeah, just chuck it in.
Is this a neat bit of DNR lore? Are our trophies actually living beings somehow?
Oh God! Wait, what do you mean living? Oh, because if we killed it, it would be. I see what you mean. I mean they could be.
I don't think we need to tell the audience.
We've never talked about the fact that our trophies are just a woodland rabbit.
Yeah, let's keep it vague. That way nobody can source back exactly what our trophies are. I like that. I like that aspect.
So we're entering the twilight hours of our program. So it looks like it's time for our favorite final segment. Top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. Slide, I feel somehow compelled to do you first. What is your TTBBMM?
Oh, is everyone going to do me this week? Awesome. I'm going to give my top toot to the 15th anniversary event, mostly because I used my boost on my Discipline Priest. As I said earlier, the gear, if you do get gear from these raids, it drops 420 gear. This means I can get my fucking alts in there and I can get her ass some gear. I don't know, is there a limit? Can I only run LFR once a week? Can I run it once a day? What's the rule for this one? Because I'm not queuing up normally. I'm talking to Chromie. So maybe I can keep queuing up and getting the sweet gear. We'll see. I'll test it out. But my top toot goes to that sweet gear. Aaron, what about you? What's your top toot, medium moot, bottom boot?
I have a bottom boot this week.
Oh no, what is it?
I was running dailies when I came upon an alliance, Kultiran, and a horde, Forsaken, and they were both fighting a boss. And I'm like, oh, surely my alliance friend was jumped, and he needs saving. So I started fighting the horde, and he started fighting me, and the alliance Kultiran turns to me and says, what are you doing? And I kept fighting, and I ice blocked, and I said, I'm fighting the horde like you were doing. And he said, why'd you attack him? And I said, what? And he goes, I was helping him out.
Well, now you're not.
And while I was ice blocked, the horde got the kill, bowed to the other guy and left. And he was like, that was rude, you know? We have to help each other out. And I said, but he was horde. We have to fight them. And he goes, I guess whatever floats your boat.
Well, if you're going to fucking do that, like turn off war mode.
Exactly. My bottom boot this week goes to Titans of, I think his realm was like Nemesis or something. You're a coward and a fool.
Yeah, boo, turn off war mode.
And he didn't even help me out on my boss either. I was like, okay, friend, go turn off war mode. Brr.
Yeah, I thought we had to help each other out, huh?
So Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
Okay, I'm going to pull a slide whistle here and give us a combination. A top two and a medium mood, I guess. Maybe a bottom moot. I don't know. I guess if I can't decide, it's a medium moot, right?
Yeah, I guess as long as we're not negative, that works out.
Okay, my top two of the week is getting the Shadowlands pre-order, getting a boost, using it on my paladin.
Nice.
So she is geared, and I'm pretty sure this is my second boost I've used on her over the years.
She's a regular bludgeon over there.
Yeah, and my toot version of it is I got to run some mythic dungeons with her as DPS, which I never get to run DPS in these dungeons, so that was a nice change of pace, and in particular melee DPS. I don't think I've ever really had a top tier like melee DPS. That was interesting. So that's my top toot, but my medium moot of it was having to go through all of the motions of unlocking Najatar and getting everything set up there again before you can even do any kind of content there. It just felt really clunky and annoying. I mean, I get it. That's why it's not like an outright bottom boot, but like it was a little annoying.
Yeah, that's why when I went back with my alts, I was like, I'm just going to do Najatar, and doing all the beginning Najatar quests, I'm like, ugh. This is so lame.
Yeah, so that is my top two medium moot combination of the week.
Whoop whoop. Well, I guess with that, we're going to be getting out of here soon. We have an anniversary raid to finish. Hopefully it doesn't bug out this time. If you guys have any comments, questions, complaints, anything you want to send to us at all, you can email us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelentlpod. What about you guys? We're going to find you on the internets.
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram on Instagram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter, and you can follow our literary musings at donotRelent.livejournal.com. And stay tuned for a little bit more of me later in the week. I'll have the lovely Cubby Bub on to talk about what we did during the weekend these boys were at BlizzCon.
Cubby Bub's back.
Cubby Bub's back. That's the name she decided to use.
Wait, she stole your identity? She stole your alter ego?
She did.
Wait, Aaron, you told us that Cubby Bub was never coming back.
Yeah, you said he was dead.
Trust me, I wish he was dead. But she was like, I think I told her that, and she was like, I'm using Cubby Bub. And I'm like,
oh, the lore of the podcast is dead. Now we are the ones who are rewriting history.
I feel like if you just think of yourself in Cubby Bub's character's perspective, you might understand how Sylvanas feels.
Wow, and with that, everyone, think about that, DN Army. We'll see you guys next week. And remember...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.